Higher the risk, greater the profit. So I always go with that. I find it very difficult to say no.
So, CEO, how have you been?
Good. I think it's been an interesting time. It's definitely interesting.
Who is Riyaaz Rasheed beyond the CEO title?
It's a normal human being who likes to enjoy life. I always have a title saying enjoy life.
So, what's your favorite part apart from being a CEO?
I spend some time watching different things, maybe some sports, and then yes, I try to spend some time with my grandchildren. That's what I probably do these days whenever I find some leisure time.
And since everyone is with AI these days, and if we happen to steal your phone, which app would you be using all the time, which we will
Probably
realize?
ChatGPT is what I have been using most. But I think AI is also evolving at a speed, so you need to keep abreast.
Those days there were no ChatGPT or anything AI tools. Now they have a lot of tools to work with. So what is your viewpoint on that one?
I think you should embrace those things, and now it's more of compulsion than of choice. If you don't do it, you will be left behind. You will lose things which others have. So I think now it's no more a choice. Being in telcos, we are actually at an advantage compared to a lot of other people. Learn, but for us it's given. So that's why one of the initiatives we are doing is train everyone in at least one course of AI this year at SLT.
So let's say now you have an opportunity to work with young management.
The new generation is very different from the old generation. So it's always good to work with the new generation because that's the generation that will be there in the next 5 years. So it's always important that you engage them and also groom them. It's very important that you give them that exposure. So I have seen especially the real new generation, right? They want answers very, very promptly. And they are also very fast in taking decisions. And some of these decisions are too harsh. They themselves don't know where they're heading. So you have to be careful with that. So you have to give them that space and time to decide. Otherwise, they could be making the wrong decision. Because they are also seeing a lot of things on social media. They also went through this COVID pandemic for nearly 2.5 years. So their lives are, to an extent, a reset. So you have to give them that space so that they come over that.
So, you see AI as a threat or an opportunity or a mix of those?
No, I think it's more opportunity. More opportunity. If you put it as a threat, you will start moving away from that. So more opportunity, you need to find a way to use it to your advantage.
So, apart from AI, what's one thing you wish you knew at the age of 22?
So where your future is, which is something nobody knows. If you knew you were going in this direction, yes, you would have adapted a lot. Take what comes your way and be very aggressive at it. If you look at me, I was a science graduate, but I ended up doing commerce and accountancy and that type of field. I totally moved from pure sciences to social sciences, and I was definitely not planned for it. And now I think, yeah, this is much better than sciences for sure.
What is the leadership style you would like to follow or try to maintain maybe?
Not a chief executive officer, but a chief enabling officer. That's probably the role, to help people and get things moving.
Why do you think a fresh graduate should join SLT Mobitel?
If you look at SLT Mobitel, it is an organization that has evolved, right? Nearly 170-year-old company. It has been a government entity, moved to a department, then moved to a private company. Now it's a public quoted company. So it has gone through that journey. And it has assets which is, I don't think many companies in Sri Lanka have that type of assets. And the technologies that we have is way beyond what others have. So now it's the time the new generation should come and embrace these things and take it to the next level. There's a huge opportunity in this organization, huge. I always tell people, we have nearly 70,000 kilometers of fiber on the ground. That's huge. That's more than enough to connect every house in Sri Lanka totally into the digital ecosystem.
When it comes to innovation and creativity, how do you see the employees here?
Very creative people, very talented people. You need to just bring that out in them. There are a lot of people with a lot of skills and knowledge, huge potential. You need to just brush them up. It's like shining the diamond, right? You cut the diamond and polish it, it starts shining. We have the raw diamonds. We need to cut and polish them.
What is the funniest excuse you have ever heard for being late?
Funniest excuse. Oh, people have told me different stories, but generally, I can't remember what was the funniest, but generally, I give that space. People, there's no need of people giving excuses for being late. If you're late, you're late. That's it.
So have you ever lied to take a leave at the office?
Principle, I try not to lie. In my life, I try not to lie. It's very difficult. So I try to keep quiet, but it's again a discipline.
So who approves your leaves?
Nobody approves my leaves today. Officially, there are no one-to-one tick somewhere. Sometimes it's good, but it's not good always.
So, are you a tea person or a coffee person?
More coffee person.
Coffee person.
Probably coffee keeps you awake,
Awake,
right? More
yeah.
caffeine.
So it means you are a night owl or early
No,
bird?
no, wake up early. Yeah.
Oh,
I try to sleep early, but early means 10 o'clock. But I try to wake up by 4 o'clock.
Are you in social media? Like Facebook?
Yes.
Or, yes. Okay. So what is your recommendation for maybe someone starting working and someone like in their career path? How much they should spend on social media?
Yeah, you should be careful about the time you spend also and the content you look at and spread. Yes, you have to be careful. I won't say time, but don't burn time looking at things which doesn't help you. There are enough good things on social media which helps, but it also sometimes distracts you, especially you just kill time and end of the day you see, okay, what did I gain? You have wasted 3 hours just browsing the web for what? So you should just see how productive your time was. Of course, you should also have your leisure. Just enjoy some fun stuff. But you need to know where to draw the line.
Apart from digital media, do you watch news, read newspapers?
That's something, probably in my job I have to do that. You need to be also knowing what's happening in the world. Yeah, so that probably I have been doing for quite some time. But only thing is sometimes I get carried away with this gossip news, which is something I should try to reduce, because it just kills your time. That's it. Nothing you gain out of it.
So what do you think? You're a strict boss or a fun boss?
I'm not a strict guy. You would have known that.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, I'm not a strict guy, but I will find it very difficult to tolerate people who cheat. That's something that is difficult, because when you lose integrity, then beyond that you can't trust that person. And then if you don't have integrity, then it's difficult to work with those people. So yeah, I'm not a strict guy per se.
What is your biggest strength and your biggest weakness?
I find it very difficult to say no. I generally take risks, probably little higher than what other people take. What I have seen is, they say, right, in theory, higher the risk, greater the profit. So I always go with that. Before I joined telecom, I was in Haley's, right? It's predominantly a big conglomerate. Probably at that stage, it was the number 2 company in Sri Lanka. I was leaving Haley's to join Celtel. And Celtel was a very new company. So a lot of people were asking, what risk are you taking? You're leaving such a giant conglomerate and joining a comparatively small company, but a company in a new technology. Yeah, so those are the types of risks you take.
Yeah, and these days we see that the new generation is shifting the careers so frequently. And what sort of idea that you have on that?
So when I was growing up, I always said, at least one of my bosses told me, and I followed it quite rigidly. They said, you need to get promoted every 4 years, or if you remain in the same level, then you should double your salary in that 4 years. Then you stay. Otherwise, it's time for you to pack and go. So either you grow, or you grow in position, or grow in remuneration. Not that I achieved it fully, but at least on that track.
Have you ever apologized to your team?
Of course, many a times. Because I always tell people to challenge me, and I also recruit people who can challenge me. So that does 2 things. One is I will push my level of performance up, and the people also will be free enough to grow up. Yeah, so I have made enough mistakes. So yes, of course I apologize.
What do you prefer the most, innovation or the perfection?
If you ask my wife, she'll say I am a perfectionist. Yeah, that's what she'll say. Yeah, but I would prefer more innovation. But yes, I'm also a bit more on the perfectionist side. Try to do things right.
In one word, how do you describe yourself? Just in one word.
Probably my integrity is high.
The CEO of SLT Mobitel, what is the biggest change that you want to do within the company?
I think the change in such a way that SLT Mobitel becomes the #1 company in terms of profitability, market capitalization, and its people's culture.
The future belongs to the people who
The people who have the right energy and also the right spirit to take the company to the next level.